and welcome to iveg.co.uk. Today we're going to show you how to grow some chilies for absolutely free. You're going to need an empty milk carton, preferably a washed out one, and some scissors, some grass from the garden, from trimmings, they can be wet or dry, and we're going to need some ash from a recent barbecue. And we're going to need some chilies. Just ask your local curry house to chuck in an extra couple of chilies next time they're doing a delivery. You can dry them out, leave them on the windowsill, make sure they've got plenty of time to dry out, and then we can use them. So what we're going to do first is we're going to make ourselves a homemade plant pot. We're going to take the milk carton and we're going to wash it out and make sure it's clear of anything. Don't want any milk left over in there. We don't need any bacteria building up. So we're going to cut it in half. Obviously you're going to want to find yourself a good pair of scissors. If you are younger, then you may want to ask an adult to help with this because it can be a little bit tricky. So we're going to cut through the middle. We're going to make sure that there's no little sharp edges left on there at all. And then we're going to make sure that it kind of holds its shape so that we can actually put it in there. Now, unfortunately, I did leave a little bit of water in there, so I'm going to need to clear that out. Now, one of the things that your plants are going to need whilst they're growing is they're going to need some drainage after you've watered them. So if you want to pierce some holes in the bottom, again, be careful of your fingers. I've pierced several holes in the bottom. It's just so that we've got a bit of drainage so that I can obviously pop it on top of a plate or something when I'm done. But yeah, please be careful. Now we're going to head out into the garden. Hopefully some of you have just mowed your lawn. If you haven't obviously got a garden, then there are other things, any rotting sort of plants or any foliage that you've got that you can use to put in there. It doesn't matter if it's wet or dry. You can put them in there and they will rot down over time that your chilies are growing in the pot. Now, barbecue ash. This is going to be something that's really helpful. There's a lot of nutrients in the ash, so add some of that in from your barbecue. Make sure it's not too hot. Now, dirt is something that you probably think you're going to have to go out and buy. But if you have got a garden, even if it's a little bit overgrown or anything, you obviously have got dirt out there. I dug a hole in the hedgerows, just sifted through, made sure that I got any sort of little plants, any little stones out of there, and later on I did have a bit more of a rummage and take out any sort of stones and things because you don't want them getting in the way of your roots as your plants are growing. So yeah, please go out, dig up some dirt. It is there available for everyone, and just have a sift through and make sure that you've not got anything in there that you don't want hanging about. Then we're going to add a little bit of water to the pot. We're going to have a look through our chilies that we've got from our curry house. We're going to pick out the best one, pop it in the soil, about 1 centimetre or so below the top of the dirt, cover it over, give it a little tap, and make sure that it is firmly in there and it looks like it's ready to go. And once you're happy, leave it up on the windowsill. After 7 to 10 days, you should see these seeds starting to sprout. And then after a couple of weeks, you'll see some growth like mine. Unfortunately, caterpillars did get to mine, but that's not too bad. So don't forget, all you're going to need is that milk carton, your scissors, some ash for its nutrients, some grass for its nitrates, and then obviously a couple of extra seeds from your local curry house.